He's come to midcourt, and with the ball, we'll be moving right to left across your radio dial. Elston Jones set to do battle up against Alex Dargenton for the opening tip. Forgot how big of a body Elston Jones had. He rocks at about 270, 275 up against Alex Dargenton. Here is your opening tip-off, and we are underway. Ball controlled out of bounds. Will go to Irvine. Almost won the tip.
Yeah, you know, Alex did actually win. He jumped up a little quicker, but he just knocked it out of bounds a little too hard. So.
Brandon Smith set to inbound on that far sideline, and we're now officially underway as Worku crosses the timeline, picked up by Sam Merrill. Anteaters moving from left to right across your radio dial. Back over to Brandon Smith, number 13, trying to post up. Elston Jones, ball goes off his hands, out of bounds, and the turnover will give the ball back to Utah State.
Yeah, great start by Brown. He pushed him off the block, created a turnover.
All right, Utah State with Kobe McEwen over to Brito on the right wing. Brito looks for a screen, finally kicks it back over to Dargenton, who's outside, three-point line extended. McEwen now on the left wing, trying to drive, can't find anything. So Brown hands off to Merrill on the right side. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Sam Merrill going one-on-one into the lane, kicks back to McEwen, who has to pull up into the lane. Shot, nope, hands off. Dargenton with the layup and lays it up and in.
Yeah, great play by Kobe. The defense came and closed down the lane to drive, and he dishes it off for a good basket.
Nice assist. Kobe McEwen up in the air, thought he was going to take the shot, instead dished it off to Dargenton, and the Aggies lead 2-0 with 19 minutes left to go in the first half. Aggies pressuring defensively as the Irvine Anteaters with Worku into the lane. Ball stolen away on a bad pass. Dargenton with a steal over to Brito. Wants to crash the lane, can't finish, but there is Dargenton for the offensive rebound. Over to Merrill for three. Got it from the right wing. Sam Merrill buries it, and the Aggies up 5-0 early on.
Yeah, both defensive stance by the Aggies. They've kept the ball out of the middle. Excellent job defensively.
Utah State switching things up defensively. Worku picked up by Merrill. Back up top to Hazard. Hazard on the right wing down to Elston Jones. Going one-on-one against Dargenton. Finally has to kick it back over on the left wing, and Irvine will reset things with 5 seconds left. Another bad pass to Elston Jones over to Hazard. Hazard tries to go baseline, can't find anything, and Irvine won't get a shot off. 30 seconds, no shot. Utah State will inbound after the turnover.
So 3 straight possessions right along with the game plan. That time it was Alex that pushed Elston Jones off the post 4 or 5 feet, doesn't allow him a clean catch with his back to the basket.
Aggies lead 5-0, 18 minutes left to go in the first half of this one. Utah State loses of 2 in a row, but feeling good early on in this one. Low post pass down to Kobe. Kobe stepped on the line, trying to create some space for himself, turns it over to Irvine. Tim Duryea barking out signals to his defensive staff. Dwayne Brown Jr. runs back quickly to get back in position as Worku crosses the timeline. Trying to find somebody. Finally sets it over to Hazard on the left wing. Hazard back to Worku. Picked up by Merrill. Back over to Hazard. Irvine working it around the circle. Whistle and another turnover. This will go back to Utah State.
Offensive foul. Yeah, Galloway there. So the Aggies switched defenses there. That's what Coach was barking out. He showed a little man and then quickly went to the 2-3 zone.
Aggies still lead 5-0, 17:38 left to go in this one. Utah State moving right to left with Sam Merrill. Picked up by Worku, three-point line extended. Now drives into the paint, finally has to dish it off, but traveled, picked up that foot before he could hand it off to McEwen.
So let's look back at Saturday's game versus BYU. Here's a chance where we should extend our lead. Instead, we go back-to-back turnovers.
Yep.
This is a growing pain moment here.
Yep. Know when you got the momentum and take advantage of it.
Yes, sir.
Worku back to Hazard. Hazard working around the right side, into lane. Good pass to Elston Jones, attacks the rim, can't finish. An offensive rebound by Galloway. He's under the paint, can't get it to go. Elston Jones, another offensive rebound, and he lays it up and in.
Yeah, 3 for 1. We've got to not allow him to get to the front of the rim and then rebound the basketball.
One of the best rebounding teams in the country. Dwayne Brown, he attacks the rim, can't finish. Dargenton's there for the offensive rebound. He can't finish, but dishes it out to Brito on a tip. Over to McEwen. Crashing the lane, cross court, three-point shot by Brown, won't go, up in the air, and now another defensive rebound by Irvine. Irvine's got numbers. Smith wants to run over to Worku on the right wing. 5-2 our score. Utah State leading by 3. 16:41 left to go. Worku down low in the paint, kicks over to Elston Jones. And Irvine finally brings it back out with Hazard. with 13 seconds left on the shot clock. He gets tied up, has to get rid of the ball, and there's Sam Merrill with the steal. Merrill over to Kobe. Kobe thinks about the three, steps back, shoots it. Leaves it short. Utah State fighting for that offensive rebound. Dargenton's there to bring it down over to Brown. He'll drive baseline. He can't get the shot to fall, but another offensive rebound by Brito. As Utah State a little out of control, but fortunately able to pull down some boards.
Yeah, we'll get a set play here, see if we can't get something towards the basket on this play.
Utah State with already 5 offensive rebounds in the first 4 minutes of this game. Kobe McEwen crossover dribble into the lane. Over to Dargenton, who attacks the rim, has the shot blocked, but they're going to get Elston Jones with the foul.
Never seen a guy miss more dunks, but that's a fine play again by Kobe. Gets the ball into the paint, dishes it off for a chance for 2 points at the free throw line.
All right, 15:55 left to go in the first half. Utah State up 5-2 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State defensively is forcing some turnovers. In fact, 5 turnovers already by UC Irvine here in the first 4 minutes of this game. Unfortunately, Utah State unable to generate a lot of points, only leading 5-2 here at the first time out.
Yeah, again, an excellent start. This is back-to-back games with a great start. You know, Coach Duryea talked in your at your coaches show about extending that defense for longer periods of time, so we'll look forward to that. But back-to-back turnovers, you know, and a chance when you can take that 5-point lead possibly to a double-digit lead, and with the turnovers, that just doesn't happen.
Sam Merrill hit a 3 early in this game. Since then, Utah State's been on a scoring drought. 0 for 5 on their last field goal attempts. Haven't scored in the last 2:51. Irvine, you can tell they're a big, strong rebounding team. They've got a couple of early offensive rebounds, but Utah State, all 5 of their rebounds have been on the offensive side of the glass.
Yeah, an outstanding job. And sometimes you work so hard in practice, you know, against each other, working on defensive rebounds, that it actually creates some habits for offensive rebounds as well.
Do we want to talk about free throws, or will it just jinx them?
No, I think we're fine. It's out of our hands.
Dargenton hits the first free throw, and the Aggies are shooting 100% from the free throw line tonight. 1 for 1. They'll have one more. 6-2, Utah State leads by 4. Let's see if Dargenton can go 2 for 2. Only one player went 2 for 2 on that night against BYU, and Dargenton lines it up and buries it. Aggies lead 7-2, 15:51 left to go here in the first half.
Aggies back to man-to-man defense.
Worku over to Leonard. Leonard hands off to Brad Green, who now checks into the ball game. Over to Smith on the left wing, back to Worku. Now down low to Leonard. Leonard into the lane, push shot, won't go, and there's Dargenton for the rebound. Aggies want to run. It's a big lineup for Irvine out on the court. They want to run these guys. Pull-up shot by Kobe McEwen from the baseline, won't go. Tip, another offensive rebound, and Isby brings it back down. Credit for the tip should go to Quinn Taylor, by the way. Isby to McEwen to Dargenton. 3-point line extended. Hands off to Merrill. Merrill turns the corner into the lane. Cross court to Isby, who thinks about a baseline shot, but pulls it back down. Hands off to Quinn Taylor. He'll take that baseline shot. About 15 feet out, and the Aggies extend the lead to 7-9-2 with 15 minutes left to go in the first half.
It's just a free play. We're just kind of driving the ball around. Isby drives it in, nice casual, kicks it to Quinn. He does what he does, makes that 10-foot jumper.
Tommy Rutherford, number 42 for Irvine, sets a screen over to Leonard. Leonard still double teamed, works it back over to Smith. Trying to post up down low. Smith's going to keep it himself. Finally dishes off to Green. He can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound, and Rutherford's got it. And he's fouled down low. Rutherford.
Yeah, Rutherford, it's... Yeah, again, offensive rebound. Alex did a fine job fronting the post, and sometimes when you front the post and the shot goes up, you're out of position to rebound. And there, Rutherford rebounded, and Quinn had to come over and take the foul to avoid the easy layup.
Clay Stahl checks into the game. He'll get some big minutes in this game just because of matchups. Julian Perry, number 5, checks in. Dargenton checks out. So your Aggies on the court right now: Taylor, Isby, Clay Stahl, Sam Merrill, and Julian Perry. Inbounds over to Green. Green's got to go down low to Rutherford. He tries to post up Stahl. Works into the baseline. Push shot up and good on the hook.
Yeah, regardless of when Stahl's in or not, I still think we need to double team that. That's just an easy shot.
9-4, Aggies lead by 5 early in this one with 14:20 left. Great pass into the lane. Sam Merrill is Isby with a great assist. Merrill lays it up and in, wide open in the paint.
Yeah, we took the big away from the basket with Clay having the basketball, and we just back screened, and it's an easy layup.
11-4, Aggies up by 7, 14 minutes left to go, first half action. Leonard on the right wing, picked up by Perry, tries to work it around the horn. Swings it back over to Worku, who's back out on the court. Worku back to Leonard. Looking to go baseline. Hands back to Worku. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Worku goes to work. Into the paint. Drives. Can't find anything. Gets a shot up as the buzzer sounds. Unfortunately does not go. Green's there for the block. He can't get it to go, and Clay Stahl finally pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, good time for a set play now. We're a little bit discombobulated.
Yep. 11-4, Utah State leads by 7. 13:27 left to go, first half action. Isby on the left wing. Aggies moving right to left, over to Stahl, or excuse me, over to Quinn Taylor. Taylor on the right wing, back to Merrill. 9 seconds left on the clock. And Sam Merrill gets called for another travel. Tried to go with the crossover, and cross over his feet.
So interestingly that, we're running a lot of high ball action, and the 5 for them, the post player, doesn't come up and show or do anything, and I think that's kind of stalling Sam a little bit. He's used to someone hedging, stepping out on the ball screen. There's no one there. So he'll adjust to that and be just fine.
13:15 left to go, first half action. Aggies lead 11-4 here on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Leonard gets a screen. Hands back to Worku on the left wing. He drives over to Rutherford. Rutherford in the left block. Loses the handle, but is able to pick it back up. Back to Leonard for a long 3. Won't go. But there's Elston Jones for another offensive rebound. Perry swipes at it and gets down on the court. Perry's got possession. Does he get the timeout? Yes. Got the timeout before Elston Jones was able to tie him up. Coach's timeout. We'll take a break. You're listening to Utah State basketball. Aggies up 11-4 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Shooting 36% from the field, 1 of 3 from beyond the three-point line. And coach, the big number, hey, they're 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and as expected, I'd like to see Sam or Kobe get up there, but I think those woes are behind us.
Kobe McEwen crossing the timeline, knock on wood. Quinn Taylor, three-point line extended, straight away. Back over to Julian Perry, who started last game, comes off the bench tonight. Clay Stahl posting up Elston Jones. He dribbles it back out, hands to McEwen into the paint. McEwen in all of those redwoods, and he picked up a foot, and he traveled. That's the 3rd travel call, 2 with Merrill, 1 on Kobe.
Yeah, he's pointing that his pivot foot's down, but he's dragging it a little bit. We're just kind of forcing it. The ball's sticking just a little bit. I think we drive if it's not available, dish, get a little bit more freedom of movement.
Aggies offense is slowing down quite a bit here. Irvine unable to take advantage. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes in this game. Leonard down low, and another offensive foul. There you go. They're going to get Yasu Worku on the foul. Set to check in the game, Jonathan Galloway, number 5 for Irvine.
His first, second team foul.
Second team foul for Irvine. Only 2 team fouls for Utah State. So they're letting these guys play with 12-12 left to go. Utah State leading 11-4.
Yeah, and the Aggies just staying in flow, just in their motion. They're just getting the ball moving, setting ball screens.
Kobe McEwen working the right side, into the lane, shot off the glass, won't go. Good luck, wouldn't fall for him. Jonathan Galloway with the rebound for Irvine. Setting up, baseline look, ball's tipped away, hands back over to Edgar. Back to Worku. Worku trying to work into the left wing, can't go. Back to Edgar on the right side. Posting up Elston Jones. Elston double team, kicks it back over. Long 3-point shot attempt up, and no good, but Elston Jones there for another rebound, and he's fouled on his way back up. Elston Jones starting to let his presence be felt there on the blocks.
Yeah, that's a weight issue there. I mean, Alex tried as hard as he could, but he ends up just getting pushed into the first row, and it's an easy basket, and he has to foul to save the end one.
Aggies lead 11-4 with 11:38 left to go. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Let's hear it again for your Utah State Spirit Squad.
Scott Gerard, Lance Beckert. It's Utah State basketball on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State leading 11-4 as we reach the midway point of the first half. Lance, we've been on a scoring drought. Neither team has scored in the last 2 minutes and 51 seconds of this game as we've been stuck on this 11-4 score for a while. I know the flow of the game is a little ugly right now. The shots that we're taking are the correct shots. We are doing what the defense is telling us to do. And if you stick with that game plan, you know, eventually those shots will start to fall. Aggies have only attempted 3 three-pointers on a team that averages about 20, 21 threes a game. Yeah, they're really extending the defense and running us off the three-point line. And that's why we're forced to drive. But remember, there's 2 big guys standing down there because they're not showing on the ball screens. And so when we drive, there's a big man there to meet and greet us. Early on, you know, Kobe did a fine job he found Alex early on. He found Dwayne for a 3 in the corner. So we just need to keep with the game plan. Elston Jones lines up to the free throw line. You cannot get this guy on the line enough as he misses his first one. Coach, he's in the first 10 games of this season for Irvine, he's shooting 29% from the free throw line. Yeah, he's always not been great from the free throw line. I think he was about 50% when he was with us, but that's being generous, by the way. Not great. Second one up, and hey, got it to go. Yeah. So right now he's shooting 50%. 1 for 2 on that trip. 11-5 our score. Irvine trailing Utah State. Kobe McEwen crashing into the lane, can't find anything, hands off to Isby. Isby will take a crack at the lane, then he dishes back to Brown. Brown pulls up his dribble, hands over to Dargeton on the left wing, too strong. There for the offensive rebound was Isby. He couldn't get it to go, and the defensive rebound finally pulled down by Irvine. Another foul, another call, and another offensive foul. So as they're posting up, we are working hard to get them off the blocks, and it's creating a little havoc for their posts. You know, they've turned around and grabbed our defensive player twice, and we've had an illegal screen once. Diogo Brito checks into the game. Isby will have a seat. Aggies lead 11-5 as the action really slowing down here in the midpoint of the first half. McEwen hands off to Merrill on the right wing, gets a screen from Dargeton. Dargeton rolls the basket, but Merrill keeps it himself. Finally dishes back to Dargeton, who hands back to Brown outside the three-point line. McEwen back to Merrill on the left baseline. Looks to drive. He can't really find anything. Skip passes down to Brown. He gets into lane. Hands back over to Brito, who will take a right wing 3 and bury that right wing 3. Aggies snap a 3-minute scoreless streak with that 3 from Brito, and now lead 14-5, 9-point lead, largest of the game for the Aggies in this one. Max Hazard on the left wing. Back over to Edgar. Edgar to Leonard on the right side. Looking to go against Merrill. Can't find anything. Back to Hazard, who attacks the rim and gets it to go. Nice drive by Irvine. Hits the bucket. 14-7 our score. Sam Merrill on the right side. Back to Brito. Brito can't find anything. Works it back to Brown. He'll take that 3 from that left wing, and he buries the 3. And Coach, we said they're not hitting threes. They're not taking threes. Now they're hitting everything. Yeah, it's a little boring brand, but we have to drive it, make the defense sag in, and then we kick out 2 straight threes. Good offense. Aggies' largest lead is 10, 17-7. Edgar on the right side. Worked it down to Hazard on the left baseline. Hazard into the lane, loses the handle, but he's fouled by Merrill. Got Merrill up in the air and then slid into him and create the contact. Yeah, Irvine's made some adjustments. They're not just sitting back on the three-point line trying to dump it in the post anymore. They're starting to drive it. So this will be a bit of a concern if we can't guard guys off the bounce. 3 team fouls for Utah State. Merrill's first. Aggies lead by 10, 17-7, with 9:48 left to go here in the first half. Edgar, long inbounds pass over to Hazard, who crosses the timeline, picked up by McEwen. At the three-point line extended straight away. Leonard on the left wing, hands back to Hazard, over to Galloway, back to Leonard. Leonard into the paint. His shot won't go, but there for an offensive rebound and a putback is Brad Green, all 6'10", 300 pounds of him, and he's able to lay it up and in. Dargenton's a little banged up. I'm not sure if we got a finger poke in the eye or if we had a flying elbow. It doesn't look like this looks like a finger poke, maybe an elbow. These are plays that are definitely reviewable, especially if the player says, hey, he hit me with an elbow. So let's see if they go to the monitor here. Right now, Clay Stahl is about to check in. And yeah, they'll go to the monitor. They're going to take a look at this thing. Again, we're just trying to clean up the game. And I think what you'll end up with, and obviously we have no monitor, I have no idea. It looks like it may have been
kind of an inadvertent basketball play is what they'll end up calling it. But yeah, it's always hard to tell, and big guys get punished a lot by flailing their elbows, but a lot of times it seems to be just kind of incidental contact or a basketball play.
Utah State leads this game 17-9 with 9:32 left to go. Aggies' leading scorer in this game is Sam Merrill, who's got 5. Also Dargington with 4. You got Brito and Brown, who just hit back-to-back threes in this game. Overall, the Aggies 3 of 5 from beyond the three-point line and shooting 38% from the field. Balanced scoring across the board, especially when you only have 9 points. Jones with 3, Rutherford with 2, Green's got 2, Edgar's got 2. That's your scoring for UC Irvine. Overall, turnovers are rather interesting here. Irvine's already got 8 turnovers here in the first half, and we still have 9.5 minutes left to go, Coach.
Yeah, and a lot of them are coming on their bigs, which is fortunate for us. That they're really unsettled by the way we're playing defense. A great start defensively by the Aggies. They said, you know what, we're not going to let the post guy score with his feet standing on the block. We're going to push him out, and that's what happened. And they're just frustration fouls.
Yeah. By the way, officials took a look at the shot to Dargington. They say no harm, no foul. Everything's fine. Utah State will inbound, going the other way.
I could have told them that. I'm the best referee out here.
I know that. I would agree with that sentiment. All right, crossing the timeline is Kobe McEwen. Hands off to Merrill on the right wing, over to Brown. 9:22 left to go. Aggies lead in this game 17-9. Kobe McEwen into the lane. Circus shot won't go. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. And Galloway quickly going the other way. Back to Leonard. Leonard into the paint. Turnaround shot from the baseline. Won't go. Sam Merrill fights for the rebound, but ultimately it goes to Kobe. Kobe quickly down court. Over to Brown on the left baseline. Had Merrill open for 3, but got it to him a little too late. Back to McEwen. He'll take that right wing 3. Won't go. Fight for the rebound. Stahl is there. And finally, Green of Irvine rips it down. Not a lot of guys are going to muscle around Clay Stahl, but Green's got that size and the bulk that he can do it. Edgar back to Hazard on the left wing. Swings it back over to Leonard. Over to Green. Green on the outside three-point shot line. Hands back to Leonard. Over to Edgar. Long three-point shot. Hazard buries it from the right baseline as a very patient offensive set by UC Irvine.
Yeah, that's a shot you give up. I mean, a hand in your face, he just makes a long 3.
Aggies have led by as many as 10. Currently lead by 5, 17-12. Here comes Sam Merrill. Pulls up. Shot. Got it. About 7 feet out into the paint.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little chippy as they drive in. I think they're kind of slapping at him, and that's what Kobe was asking for, and that's what Sam asked for, and he never begs.
Yep, Hazard to Leonard on the right wing. He gets around Merrill, gets the scoop shot up and good as Sam Merrill got caught in traffic. Yeah,
so he countered the ball screen, meaning that the ball screen was on his left side, and he faked and went back right. We had nobody to help.
Lead still at 5, 19-14. Aggies up by 5 with McEwen trying to test Hazard. Finally kicks it back over to Merrill. Merrill will drive. He gets around his defender, lays it up, won't go, but he draws the foul on Green. He'll challenge the big man. He's got no problem with that whatsoever. Aggies up by 5, 19-14, 7:38 left to go in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Low-scoring game. Utah State leading by 5, 19-14. During the break, our on-site engineer, Ajay Salveson, said, hey, what's Kobe shooting in this game? Well, funny you ask, Ajay, because he is currently 0 for 5 from the field and 0 for 2 from beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, and the problem is they're forced shots, and this is, he's trying to get his rhythm back, is the positive spin on this. He's trying to get back into the flow of the game, and he played a lot of minutes against BYU in kind of a different situation. We're going to need him tonight to continue to dribble to the basket. The defense is going to sag. He cannot try to shoot over 2 players. He's got to stop, reverse pivot, throw it out for an open 3.
Utah State leads this game by 5, 19-14. Aggies have forced a lot of turnovers, 8 turnovers by Irvine tonight, but they've led by as many as 10, but just can't seem to push that lead any further, and Irvine's reeled them back in, currently shooting 37% from the field. Utah State only 36% from the field. Sam Merrill's going to step to the free throw line. Aggies made their first 2 free throws. Let's see if they can keep it rolling tonight.
Sam Merrill. Merrill shooting.
Sam will be shooting 2 after the shooting foul. First shot up and good. Hey, all 3 free throws have looked really good, Coach.
Yeah, I think, I think they had some sleepless nights, and I think they're over it.
Second shot up, good. Aggies 4 for 4 from their first free throws, and student section gives them a nice little applause. 21-14, leads back to 7 with 7:30 and counting left to go here in the first half. Here comes Irvine, again moving left to right. Hazard, back over to Edgar. Edgar down low to Leonard, back to Edgar, and he swings it back to Hazard. Irvine patient offensively. Leonard on the right side. Cross court, three-point shot attempt, left wing, rattled out, no good. Edgar couldn't get it to fall and stalls there for the rebound. Quickly to Merrill. Merrill over to Henson, who will take the three. And that did all but go down. Rattled around, fell out, and Irvine quickly with the rebound. Back to Hazard, who wants to drive into the paint. He'll pull up into that paint and bury the jumper. 21-16, lead back to 5.
Yeah, Aggies weren't able to set their defense there. There was still, they played zone the previous possession and it looked like half of them were in zone and half in man.
Rutherford back in the game for Irvine, trying to control the paint. Isby back in for Utah State. He's yet to score. Hands off to McEwen. He gets into the lane. Back to Henson. He'll take a long three. Can't get that to go. Henson had some good looks in this game. Also some good looks against BYU and just isn't getting that three to fall for him. Cross court over to Hazard. He'll take the three. He'll get that three. And now it's a two-point game. 21-19 as Irvine, trailed by as many as 10, has cut the lead down to 2 with 6:14 left to go.
Yeah, I'd like to see Henson get something towards the basket, maybe in the paint area. He's gone, 0 for 4 now in the past 2 games combined.
Sam Merrill a little upset because Leonard's grabbing him as he's trying to come around to curl. Takes a pull-up jumper, buries it, and Sam looks over the official like, you gonna call anything tonight?
Yeah, and I think we need to go back to Sam. Until they show me they can stop that, I think we need to milk that cow.
Sam's playing upset right now. It's fun to watch. Three-point shot attempt, right wing, got it. Wide open. That was Evan Leonard who buried the three. Somebody messed up on the defensive side.
Well, that was Henson who failed to find his matchup, and then we had to scramble around. And when you make an error defensively, whether it's a hustle play or a matchup play, or you take a play off, that ball is always going to find the open man, and it's going to hurt you.
Coach's timeout on the court. We'll take it. You're listening to Utah State Basketball on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Yeah, I screwed up on that one.
Hold up,
yeah,
Adam.
No, it was the one. You're fine. Just bring it back after this.
He dunks it with 2 hands. He can do it. He just can't dunk with 1 hand.
Aggie basketball on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Pass down low to Dargent, who throws down the dunk. Aggies lead 25-22. Irvine quickly going the other way. Three-point shot attempt, right wing, no good. Sam Merrill brings down the board.
Yeah, I love the offensive play. Isby drives to the basket and finds Alex open. That's what we need to do.
Merrill, three-point shot attempt, won't go. Isby fights for the rebound, can't get it. Flows out of bounds off of Isby, and Irvine will inbound. Aggies up by 3, 25-22, led by as many as 10. Irvine has cut it down to 1. Irvine is yet to lead in this game for Utah State. Irvine, though, shooting 43% from the field. Aggies 38.
Aggies back in zone. This zone's giving them some problems. It's a little 1-2-2 matchup type zone, and it's given Irvine a lot of trouble when we've been able to set the defense.
Pass intended for Rutherford is kicked out of bounds by Utah State. 20 seconds left on the shot clock with 4:47 left to go. Smith will inbound. Hands it over to Hazard. Hazard picked up by Julian Perry. Hazard back over to Rutherford. Over to Leonard on the left wing. Leonard has to go cross court to Hazard. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Now Smith on the right baseline. Works in, has to work it back to Hazard, back to Smith. He'll take the three, won't go. Fight for the rebound, and Isby brings it down. 4:25 left to go. Aggies up by 3. Isby with the ball. Hands over to Julian Perry, who will take a shot inside the three-point line. Won't go. Not a good look for Perry. And here comes Hazard, wanting to test that Utah State defense. Coast to coast, lays it up and in. Nobody challenged him.
No, and the problem is every error we make offensively, be it a turnover or a bad shot, leads to a high-tempo shot for the Anteaters.
Hazard saw that Perry, that Utah State, had numbers, but still pushed it because Utah State a little lackadaisical on defense. Isby, long three, no good. Again, not good looks for Utah State. Dargington reaches in and fouls, and that will go against Utah State. We'll go ahead and keep it here as the Aggies lead in this game by 25-24, but Irvine with some momentum here, Coach.
Yeah, see, and the problem, and a lot of Aggie fans probably feel this, the problem when you are a three-point shooting team and you're kind of relying on that is that sometimes as a player you feel like it's always a green light.
Yeah.
And for about the last maybe three out of the last four possessions, we've kind of had ill-advised shot. I mean, now Julian was a long two, it wasn't a three, but if you just settle in for bouncing the ball once or twice and putting it up, you're never in a position for an offensive rebound, and it's a do-or-die shot. And what's happened is the Anteaters are turning those long rebounds into fast break or early offense opportunities. So we need to get back to what we do, which is dribble penetration or penetration off a ball screen, and then creating space for an open shot.
And here's the other thing, too. Not all three-point shots are created equal. Utah State wants to drive, kick, baseline three. They want high percentage threes within the course of the offense. Last couple shots or last few three-point shot attempts have not been out of the offense. It's, a no-pass possession or a one-pass possession. Guys trying to create a little and straightaway threes. If you want, everybody thinks the Houston Rockets takes a lot of threes. Watch how they take threes. It's drive, kick, three passes around the horn to find that guy open. It's within that offense, and right now Utah State's struggling with that.
Yeah, if you don't move the defense offensively and you don't make them shift, you never have an opportunity to really have a clear feet set three and a chance for an offensive rebound. And so, that's what we're talking about in the timeout right now. He's got the grease board out. He's drawn up kind of reviewing flow, which is our offensive motion offense. So we'll see how we do coming out.
25-24, Utah State is led for the entire ball game. They have not allowed Irvine to come back and take any lead in this game, but Irvine has a chance to do that on this next offensive possession. 3:51 left to go. Aggies looking to get into halftime with a lead. This is kind of where things got a little sideways in the BYU game too, when Utah State had a big lead and BYU came back in and took a lead at halftime.
Yeah, we should be 15 points up right now, and unfortunately we're not. So let's regroup, and we need to get back to what we're doing to start the game.
Yasu Worku, who's a tremendous player, has yet to really do much for Irvine in this game. Hands over to Smith. Smith back to Worku. It's picked up by Perry. Hands back over to Galloway. Galloway back to Worku, who tries to go baseline, spins, gets into the lane, shot up, won't go. Rebound, and Perry finally brings it down. And here comes Utah State, crossing the timeline. Perry looks back to Coach Duryea for some instructions. Aggies haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds in this game. Isby on the right wing. Pump fakes a long three. Back over to Dargington. Dargington will drive into the paint. He'll try to create for himself, loses the handle, finally picks it back up, puts the shot up the glass, won't go, goes out of bounds, and stays with Utah State. You got to make those shots, right?
Yeah, that's a set play, and the set play broke down a little bit, and he was able to get his man, basically a bunny. Yeah. And he just, he threw up a little bit of masonry right there.
Julian Perry comes out. Kobe McEwen comes in. McEwen 0 for 5 from the field in this game, including 0 for 2, has yet to score. Inbounds, Sam Merrill on the left wing, picked up by Worku. Hands over to Kobe. Kobe gets some instructions from Coach Duryea with 2:52 left to go in the game and 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Back over to Isby. Isby on the right side. He'll drive. Pull-up shot, baseline.
Yeah, I like Coach Duryea's approach right there. He calls back-to-back set plays. And we don't get anything off the set plays, but we're in a position then to drive right to the front of the basket and make a nice little baby hook.
27-24 our score, 2:28 left to go. Aggies lead by 3. Leonard to Hazard to Smith, and Smith picked up a foot and gets called for the travel.
I like to see that call, as that's similar to the call they had on Sam earlier on.
9th turnover of the half for UC Irvine. Crossing the timelines, McEwen. Aggies right to left. Brown back into the game on the right side. Picked up by Rutherford. might be able to drive on him. Instead, bounds back to McEwen. Straight away three. He's fouled and nearly buried it. But McEwen's, they're going to say it's a 2. Or was it a 3? Wait to see the official word.
Yeah, 3 shots.
3 shots for Kobe McEwen. He'll step up to the free throw line. Dargington's been 2 for 2. Sam Merrill is 2 for 2. Let's see what Kobe McEwen does. As the Aggies 4 for 4 from the free throw line in the first half. Kobe hasn't been able to get his shot going. 0 for 5 from the field. First shot is up and good. He'll have 2 more.
Yeah, and maybe this is an opportunity for him to get a little feel back in his jumper, and as the game continues, this will help him out.
Second shot for McEwen. Up and good as well. 29-24. Aggies up by 5, have a chance to push it to 6 with this next one.
And they're such pretty shots. I mean, it shows you what an anomaly the first few games of the season were, and why Coach Duryea was so baffled. This is what you expect from your stars. Step up, nothing but the bottom of the net. 10 plus if you're scoring.
Yep. Aggies 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Now are 6%. Fight for the offensive rebound. Kobe trying to keep it alive. Couldn't do it. Rutherford pulls it down. Irvine trying to go the other way, but no numbers there for Leonard. Leonard back for 1-2. With Smith on the right baseline. 2 minutes left to go. Straight up in this one. Back to 1-2. Back to Leonard. Thinks about a straight away. Hands off to Smith. Drives into the lane. Can't get anything to go. Dishes off to Leonard.
Yeah, we talked about the paint, and that's where it hurts you. If they're able to drive in the paint, it tears you apart.
29-26. Irvine cuts the lead to 3. Dargington, kiss off the glass.
Alex Dargington with the 2.
Tried to miss that shot, but that one finally went.
Yeah, he used the whole backboard and rim on that one.
Aggies up by 5, 31-26. Leonard on the left wing, picked up by Merrill, gets a screen. Dargington flashes. Back over to Worku. Worku has the pass deflected, but Rutherford's able to pull it down. Kicked it back on the right block to Worku. Gets into the lane, good look, shot, no good. They're going to say he's fouled before the shot. But these guys are getting Utah State off the dribble.
Yeah, they are. They're able to penetrate middle, and it causes Alex to step up and have to help, and that exposes the big men. So we'll have to keep a good look at that. It looks like Alex taking a beating down there. He got another elbow, looks like to the nose.
Another, that's only the 15th foul for Utah State with 1:16 left to go. Down low to Rutherford, picked up by Dargington. Aggies finally double team. Dargington goes baseline, finally dishes it off to Smith. Back to Leonard. Leonard into the lane, shot, and they're going to call another foul. This one on Dargington. For him, that will be foul number 2.
Foul is on Alex Dargington.
And
His second,
Stahl,
5th
not ready to
team
check
foul.
into the game. Actually, no, Stahl goes back to the bench. Quinn Taylor will check back into the game. Again, only the 5th team foul for Utah State. But that was
At the free throw line.
Leonard's got himself a couple
Evans.
Yeah, and I like Quinn Taylor here. The Anteaters are a little bit smaller here with Rutherford in the game. You can kind of save Alex a little bit for when the big fella comes back.
Yeah. 1:04 left to go.
Shooting
Utah State
two.
leads 31-26. 5-point lead. Leonard's got himself a couple of free throws. First shot is up and good. He'll have one more.
Quick hitter back in for Utah State.
Irvine 2 for 3 on the night. From beyond the line. Utah
Also
State
in
is
for
6 for 7.
Irvine, number 5,
Different
Jonathan
tonight, at least so far,
Galloway.
than what we saw against BYU.
Oh.
And at number 55.
So on cue, Green comes back, and now Quinn Taylor does a fine job at guarding bigger players. So we'll see how this matchup goes.
Second free throw for Leonard. He gets the ball from the official. Gets it to go. So the lead back to 3, 31-28 with a final 3 left to go in this one. McEwen crossing the timeline. Picked up by Leonard. Hands off to Merrill on the bounce pass. 3-point line, straight away extended. Trying to drive, steps back, hands back to Quinn Taylor. Who's guarded closely by Green, so hands back to Merrill. Merrill into lane for Taylor, who will take a 3 and bury it.
Quinn Taylor with the triple.
Yeah, pick and pop off the ball screen. We had been rolling him out. Quinn just steps back. We find the open man. Uh-oh, timeout.
Lead by 6, timeout. Irvine will keep it here as the Aggies, again, with a 6-point lead, and you want to finish strong. You want to find a way to make sure you carry this momentum in the second half, Coach.
Yeah, I think, since the 4-minute media, the last media timeout, the Aggies have done a fine job of going back to their style of offense. And it bodes well for Kobe because he has turned down a couple shots they looked like he wanted to take. So I definitely see some progress in team offense. And defensively, Aggies are doing a fine job of keeping that ball out of the post. They just need to do a little better job of guarding the bounce.
Yogo Rico back in the court. And also in for the Islanders. Number 4, Justin Gordner.
Only about 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. There's a 17-second shot clock. Picked up by Kobe. Aggies trying to force it left. Gets back in the love shot. Can't get it to fall. Fucking rattled in. Fight for the rebound. It's Ruth who gets it. Moves up.
That's the good. John Edgar Jr.
Yeah, I thought the Aggies might use a foul there. They had fouls to give, and maybe on that first drive. But again, it's offensive rebound and then second chance points have really been a sticking point in this game.
So Edgar's going to step up to the free throw line with a chance to cut this lead in half. It's now 34-30.
Shooting 1.
3 seconds left on the clock. So Utah State will have a little time to try to create something. Edgar steps up to the free throw line and tries to finish off the old-fashioned quick play. Steps up, shot is up, and got it to go. Merrill's going to get out of McEwen. McEwen not challenged. 2 seconds left. Over to Merrill. Merrill pulls up the three and
And that's it for the first half on score. Utah State 34 at UC Irvine 31.